I guess there were some, like, right-wing accounts that are paid propaganda for India, question mark? Once again, our main man, Aesthetica here, being our source. List of paid propaganda accounts who took money to shill for India. And they have, like, Gunther Eagleman. I've never heard of this person. Election Whiz. I also don't know who this is. Chuck Callisto. I also have no idea who this... Damn, they all have so many fucking followers. Jesus Christ. A non-patriot. I have no idea who this is. Ryan A. Fournier. I think I've seen this account, but I don't think I've ever read anything from them. Like, I think I've just, like, scrolled past them before. DC Drano. I recognize that one. Matt Wallace. I also recognize this one. This guy posts all the fucking time. Defiant L's. I recognize this one. I don't recognize that icon, but I've seen this account before. And then, Community Notes Violations. I think I've seen this a handful of times, not very frequently. And, asked anyone else am I missing? And so they have all these tweets here collected. Ryan Fournier said, India has always had a President Trump's back. If India made a fortune off Russian oil, their margins would show it. They don't. Refining margins dropped after 2022, even as imports rose. Meanwhile, Western oil firms tripled profits. Facts over mainstream spend. Matt Wallace saying the Chinese Communist Party is overtly trying to subjugate the United States. While India buys oil to keep the lights on and limit inflation, the CCP steals intellectual property, floods our markets with poisonous goods, manipulates currency, and funds military expansion with unsettling goals that go directly against U.S. interests. I got a hot take, actually. Hold on, chat. My brain cell is buzzing around at the speed of light. What if, and here, I know this is crazy, what if, hear me out. What if both China and India are enemies of the state? What if they're both trying to fuck us over? I know that's crazy. You can't have two bad guys. That just doesn't make sense. The fake news is trying to paint India as an enemy. Why? There's a bunch of people puffing up India here. DC Drano, the Chinese Communist Party is truly an enemy of America. The CCP spies on our citizens, steals our intellectual property, wages cyber warfare. They love getting involved in our domestic politics and trying to distract us away from their egregious actions. Egregious actions like falsely getting an H-1B visa because job listings are obfuscated from Americans to apply to them. And since Americans can't find them to apply, they are allowed to get their H-1B visas. And then once they get over here, they just start hiring only other Indians. You know, kind of like that, maybe. Kind of like that, getting involved over here, maybe. I don't know, brother. The CCP would love for America to waste energy pressuring countries that aren't a threat. Don't take the bait, stand strong. Why didn't I get offered any Indian rupees to push fucking propaganda, man? I know I don't have 1 million followers on Zitter, but you know, I still have a sizable audience. Where's my Indian rupees, Sar? Where can I redeem? Oh my god. So there's just like a whole bunch of these people. India's not the problem. Pushing them towards China's alliance is. If we have to keep importing Indians because you're worried that China will get first pick of the Indian litter, why hasn't China already been mass importing Indians and giving them better offers than the United States? Like, it's just like that guy on Financial Audit that bought a gold mine and he was like, yeah, China wasn't interested in it. I was like, if China wasn't interested in it, there's either no gold mine or it's fucking dry. Why would you think you know more than the Chinese government as like a gold miner, man? If the Chinese knew that there was gold there, they'd be like, yeah, we're gonna fucking take that. And then we're gonna come in and we're gonna replace all your miners with our workers. And then we're gonna breed all your women. Because that's what China's been doing in Africa for ages now. Let's see, I had another tab on this as well. Right Angle News Network retweeting the same picture that we read. Independent journalist Nick Sortor has uncovered a deep network of ex-influencers being paid to promote pro-Indian messaging. I don't know how he uncovered that. Kind of nuts, though. Apparently, they started deleting their posts after being called out for taking money and not disclosing it. I feel like if you get paid to do something, the FCC should start actually holding people accountable for that. Especially because influencers are becoming political propaganda tools. It's very important to be disclosing when you take money to promote an opinion. And like even people who like don't disclose when they have like an advertisement for a game, I feel like that is harmful. Because if you're not disclosing that it's an ad, like people aren't gonna know if you actually like the game or if you're just saying that because you want to get paid. Another Maryland man has been arrested for first-degree cold-blooded murder, and the victim is 19 years old. ICE detainer now on 35-year-old illegal alien Hugo Hernandez Mendez, and Dakara Thompson joins Rachel Morin as a victim of the Democrats' open borders. And this is interesting as well, because this was in Prince George's County. Prince George's County, we've read about before, when Trump was cutting federal government roles using Doge. Prince George's County was one of the most affected places because Prince George's County is basically like a majority black and majority government employee town. And so it was not affecting just the people working for the government, but the people who set up shops there in order to sell strange mysticism products to the government workers. So that's, I remember that county from those articles before.
Georges County Police and Maryland State Police say the body that was found off of Route 50 in Annapolis does belong to 19-year-old Dakara Thompson. They have arrested 35-year-old Hugo Hernandez Mendez of Bowie and charged him with her murder. Investigators say Hernandez Mendez is in the country illegally and an ICE detainer was issued for him yesterday.
So it's just like, man, these people wouldn't have to die if we could just get rid of illegals. We could be having so many more people who do not deserve to not be unalived. Surgeon pleads guilty after purposefully amputating legs for sexual fetish. Time is a loop, because this was literally an episode on, like, Maury or Jerry Springer or some shit back in the day, where a guy was like, doctors wouldn't help me amputate my legs, but I don't think I should have legs, so I just like took a chainsaw and chopped off my own legs. You know, I feel like so much more whole as a person without legs. 49-year-old vascular surgeon Neil Hopper was once named the bravest in Britain after he had to amputate both of his legs. But now the doctor, who performed hundreds of amputation operations of his own, has pleaded guilty to 2 fraud charges after he told insurers that his legs needed to be removed because of sepsis and not because of a self-inflicted injury. According to reports from inside the courtroom, Hopper actually froze his own legs with ice and dry ice to ensure that his legs would be removed. Oh my God, he's just like that furry guy who encased his hands in dry ice because he wanted them amputated and replaced with mechanical paws. Do you guys remember that guy? Damn, that's crazy. Almost as crazy as convincing people to cut off their genitalia. I wonder who would be sick enough to do that. According to testimony laid out against Hopper in court, the surgeon wanted his legs to be chopped off because of an obsession with removing parts of his own body and a sexual interest in doing so.
It's a new one for me. I've just been discharged from hospital. I was admitted unwell with sepsis of unknown cause, but there were some complications of my
Chat, not for nothing, but like, you know, the physiognomy, I don't know how to pronounce that word. His face is screaming at me that this man is like a sexual predator. He's just got that look, you know, like you could just tell. Like there's more than just chopping off your body parts as a fetish. I feel like this guy's a predator, man.
Hospital treatment, and I lost both my legs below the knees.
This 49-year-old vascular surgeon was once named the bravest in
I would
Britain
not trust
after
him.
he had to amputate both of his legs. But now Neil Hopper, who performed hundreds of amputation operations of his...
Can I just point out that it's really funny that he chopped off his legs and his last name is Hopper because now he can't walk, he has to hop.
Zone has pleaded guilty to 2 fraud charges after he told insurers that his legs needed to be removed because of sepsis and not because of his self-inflicted injury. According to reports from inside the courtroom, Hopper actually froze his own legs with ice and dry ice to ensure his legs would be removed. In insurance claims totaling more than $625,000,
Holy
a
shit.
friend of Hopper allegedly told him to milk the payout. The now former surgeon spent some of the money on a $30,000 camper van and $340,000 on home improvements and a hot tub.
What?
According to testimony laid out against Hopper in court, the surgeon wanted his legs to be chopped off because of an obsession with removing parts of his own body and a sexual interest in doing so. In a disturbing twist to the story, the Welsh surgeon also admitted to possessing extreme pornography. Investigators found that between 28
Physiognomy is never wrong, chat!
and 2020, Hopper bought 3 videos from a now-defunct webpage called the Eunuch Maker, an extreme body modification site which showcased disturbing mutilation live streams and videos.
Is that the eunuch, like, crime ring that we read about last year? I think it was last year that we read about them. In Britain, there was a group of people, and I don't remember if it was eunuch makers or not, or if it was a different castration group, but they really enjoyed, like, cutting off each other's balls and penises, and they would live stream the castrations. And apparently this was found to be, like, you guys actually can't consent to that, and you also can't upload that kind of material in the UK. So they all got, like, charged with crimes. It is the same group. Hell yeah, bro! My brain, it works!
Hopper was reportedly identified during investigations into the website's creator, Marius Gustafsson.
Oh yeah, I remember that guy's face.
$400,000 by showing his website's roughly 22,000 subscribers gruesome videos of him mutilating the bodies of apparently willing volunteers, and is currently serving 22 years to life in prison.
Damn.
Gustafsson's website included disturbing and dangerous body modifications such as limb freezing, penis castrations, and testicle crushing. One man from London is even serving prison time for slicing off Gustafsson's penis with a kitchen knife. In 2019, Hopper told the BBC that he was rushed to the hospital after reportedly not feeling well following a family camping trip. At the hospital, the then 46-year-old was treated for suspected sepsis, a potentially life-threatening medical condition where the body fights an infection.
I hope if the mother had no idea that this was for a fetish and she, like, believed the story about sepsis or whatever, I hope that after this comes out, she, like, divorces him and takes the kids. Cause, like, that is disturbing.
Too much, damaging nearby organs and tissues. After complaining about pain in his feet, surgeons decided to amputate both of Hopper's legs. According to court testimony, Hopper didn't reveal to his medical team the real cause of his leg injuries. The double amputee surgeon with prosthetic limbs then started sharing his journey on social media and his own website, bionicsurgeon.net. Prosecutors told the court that Hopper enjoyed the media interest.
How would you sum up the last year?
Yeah, it's probably been the toughest year of my life. That goes without saying. I think I hit some of the biggest lows I've ever hit in my life, but also it's fair to say it hasn't all been bad as well. It's like somebody performs an audit of your life and you realise that lots of people are important to you and you're important to them.
A year after his amputation surgery, Hopper posted a video on his YouTube channel sharing his highs and lows of his first year as a double leg amputee.
I've come a long way. I'm more active than I've...
A tough year. Meanwhile, the dude is hard as a fucking diamond. Oh, you just know he's getting off to this. He's like, people have no idea this is my fetish, and I'm going on national TV, and I'm being interviewed, and I'm masturbating furiously in a closet afterwards.
Most ever been. I've been out on a trike a lot. I'll put some videos of that up at some point. I do a lot of walking. I can walk. I've walked 4 miles across country paths on my legs without much difficulty at all.
Hopper now reportedly says he regrets the dishonesty surrounding his double leg amputation.
I regret the dishonesty that gave me a massive $600,000 payout, bro.
But does not regret having his legs removed. Hopper was sentenced to 22 months in prison for fraud and an additional 10 months for possessing extreme pornography.
I guess, you know, is possessing extreme castration porn, 10 months. I'm sorry I got caught. He regrets the dishonesty because he got caught. I like, you know, I wonder how they classify that. Is it extreme because the consent was, like, dubious, or is it extreme because it's, like, gore? Because, like, imagine Live Leak, right? And all the videos that got saved off of Live Leak being some sort of liability now. Kind of strange. There was a suspected shooting event happening at UMass Lowell a couple of days ago. There were videos posted on Twitter of a guy, like, holding a rifle up, like, looking like he's gonna shoot with it. And I retweeted that, and I was like, hey, if you're in that area, like, stay safe. There was a video And some of the people in the dorm room were just like, oh my god, call the police, oh my god. But it's like, you have a good vantage point. If only you didn't live in dorms in a gun-free zone, you could have just taken him out, because he looked legit. But the close-up of this gun is really funny. With like the magnifier being backwards. Dude wanted like anti-magnification. Juvenile with airsoft replica weapon determined to have caused UMass Lowell lockdown. A large law enforcement response descended on the university's campus Wednesday after reports of a person with a gun. Airsoft replica weapon that was carried by the juvenile here in the image with a really shitty magnifier backwards. A juvenile male with an airsoft gun was to blame for a 3-hour lockdown that brought a massive police response to the University of UMass Lowell, I don't know why they wrote it out in full, campus on Wednesday. The apparent firearm the juvenile was seen carrying in widely circulated video was actually an airsoft replica weapon that has since been recovered, according to the Lowell Police Department. It was not immediately clear Thursday whether the juvenile faces criminal charges in connection with that incident. And I thought, and I could be wrong because like I don't own airsoft rifles, but I thought airsoft rifles were supposed to have colored tips on them so that they could be differentiated from actual firearms. So did he like take the tip off, or are some sold without colored tips? That's a little crazy. It did. Most do have an orange tip. You can remove them. They have to be sold with the tips. Why would you remove it? That seems like a very, very brain damaged thing to do. It varies. Fake guns are always supposed to, so he probably removed it. People cut them off. I feel like it's silly to cut them off. Because, like, why? Like, again, like, he caused a lockdown because everybody thought it was real. Like, you can get into fucking big-ass trouble, man. You know? It don't make sense. Because you want to terrorize people? Jesus Christ. The apparent firearm the juvenile was seen carrying in a widely circulated video was actually an airsoft replica that has since been recovered. It was not immediately clear Thursday whether the juvenile faces criminal charges in connection with the incident. His parents probably already beat him, let's be real. The security scare began around 2:30 p.m. Wednesday when a report of a person carrying a long weapon behind the Riverside Suites on South Campus prompted UMass Lowell to instruct community members to shelter in place and run, hide, fight. I don't think you should fight necessarily. Like if you have a gun, yeah, sure. But I mean, if you're gonna charge at a guy with a gun, it's not gonna work out very well. A video posted to social media appeared to show someone walking behind a residential building while aiming a rifle-style gun. There were no reported shots or injuries, according to UMass Lowell. The ensuing search involved not only local authorities, but also the FBI, Mass State Police, U.S. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, the ATF was there, and explosive. Oh yeah, I forgot. They also do explosives. And numerous canines, Lowell Police said. You don't charge at him, you find cover, then shoot back. Well, I mean, if you don't have a gun, like, I guess you could try and ambush him. Like, you wait around a door or something for him to come through and just like, tackle him from behind, I guess. But you gotta plan that pretty well. The safety of this city and its residents and visitors is our top priority, Lowell Superintendent of Police Greg Houdon said in a statement. The extensive response of personnel and assets by this department and our law enforcement partners was a testament to that commitment. Houdon added, while the reported firearm in this case was ultimately determined to be an airsoft gun, our community can be certain that, as in this case, the Lowell Police Department will always utilize all available resources until the safety of all is assured. Addressing the campus community, UMass Lowell Chancellor Julie Chen shed further light on the airsoft gun involved in Wednesday's incident, explaining, these devices are designed to shoot small plastic pellets but often closely resemble real firearms, which understandably causes alarm. To that end, UMass Lowell advertised a number of campus mental health resources available to students, faculty, and staff. The university's classes resumed as scheduled Thursday, a decision Chen said reflects our belief that our campus is a safe place to learn and work. So thankfully, not a mass shooting event, just a scare because some minor, I'm pretty sure they said it was like a young guy, it was an Asian looking dude in the video, decided to wander around with a fucking airsoft rifle with the tip off for some reason. For some fucking reason, brother. New Hampshire leads a 25-state coalition defending Second Amendment rights of law-abiding travelers. I was traveling, not driving. I have a right to travel by the Articles of Confederation. Sorry, that's like an MK Ultra trigger phrase for me. I see travelers and I just immediately go to sovereign citizens. Concord, New Hampshire, Attorney General John Formella announced today that New Hampshire is leading a coalition of 25 states in filing an amicus brief with the United States Supreme Court, urging it to review the constitutionality of Massachusetts' firearm licensing requirements for non-residents. The Second Amendment does not end at the Massachusetts border, said Attorney General Formella. Citizens should not face criminal charges simply for exercising their constitutional rights while traveling. Massachusetts' approach treats non-residents as second-class citizens, imposes arbitrary and excessive restrictions, and contradicts both historical tradition and Supreme Court precedent. We filed this brief to defend the principle that constitutional rights travel with the individual, not just within their home state, but across the United States. The brief supports a petition challenging a ruling by the Mass Supreme Judicial Court, which upheld the Commonwealth's license to carry regime, even when applied to law-abiding out-of-state travelers who cannot reasonably comply with the state's burdensome permitting process. This case involves a New Hampshire resident who was arrested and charged in Massachusetts after voluntarily disclosing to law enforcement that he was carrying a legally owned firearm, despite lacking a Massachusetts license. Although the trial court dismissed the charges, Massachusetts' highest court reinstated them, citing the state's licensing framework. The multi-state brief outlines several key concerns. Unconstitutional burdens. Mass's permitting process for non-residents involves lengthy delays ranging from 40 to 170 days. High fees and broad discretionary denial standards based on vague suitability criteria. Number 2, lack of historical precedent. There is no well-established historical tradition of barring non-residents from transporting or possessing firearms while traveling. And third, federalism and individual rights. The Constitution guarantees certain rights, especially those protected by the 2nd and 14th Amendments, that cannot be subject to differing standards based solely on geography. The coalition urges the United States Supreme Court to grant review and reverse the decision of the Mass Supreme Judicial Court. Joining New Hampshire in this coalition are Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Ohio, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Oklahoma, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Virginia, West Virginia, and Wyoming. So quite a few states signed on to say, fuck you, Mass, your laws are shit.
Spicy
your
cat
shit,
raid.
get fucked. Georgia joining, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I have a handful of friends who were like out-of-staters who like when visiting Mass, they're just like, yeah, I gotta leave my guns at home and I don't like that because I don't want to fucking deal with that shit. Mass is so stupid about self-defense and firearms. They really are. Mass has ridiculously strict and ridiculously stupid firearm laws. It's fucking dumb and gay. So hopefully this coalition achieves its goal. Department of Justice sues the city of Boston and Mayor Michele Wu over sanctuary city laws. City of Boston and its mayor have been among the worst sanctuary offenders in America. They explicitly enforce policies designed to undermine law enforcement and protect illegal aliens from justice, said AG Pam Bondi. If Boston won't protect its citizens from illegal alien crime, this Department of Justice will. And here is the official brief here. September 4th, this was filed here. Today, the Department of Justice filed a lawsuit against the city of Boston, Mass, Boston Mayor Michele Wu, and the Boston Police Department and Police Commissioner over Boston's sanctuary city laws that interfere with the federal government's enforcement of its immigration laws. The city of Boston and its mayor have been among the worst sanctuary offenders in America. They explicitly enforce policies designed to undermine law enforcement and protect illegal aliens from justice. The Attorney General Pam Bondi said, if Boston won't protect its citizens from illegal alien crime, this Department of Justice will. Not only are Boston sanctuary city policies illegal under federal law, but, as alleged in the complaint, Boston's refusal to cooperate with federal immigration authorities results in the release of dangerous criminals from police custody, who would otherwise be subject to removal, including illegal aliens convicted of aggravated assault, burglary, and drug and human trafficking onto the streets. On her first day in office, Pam Bondi instructed the department's civil division to identify state and local laws, policies, and practices that facilitate violations of federal immigration laws or impede lawful federal immigration operations. On August 5th, Attorney General Bondi published a list of sanctuary jurisdictions, which included the city of Boston. and vowed to bring litigation to end these policies nationwide. Today's lawsuit is the latest in a series of lawsuits brought by the Civil Division targeting illegal sanctuary city policies across the country, including in New York, New Jersey, Los Angeles, and California. You gotta see if ICE is hiring. I don't know if they're still hiring, but I imagine they would be, right? I feel like the ICE account tweets out all the time to fucking join them. And I see no reason why you shouldn't if you have free time to do so. I get a little extra pay for being an illegal alien catcher. Let's fucking go. Mass started the American Revolution because the government was gonna confiscate their guns. What the hell happened in these last 250 years? That's a great fucking question. Michele Wu is like ridiculously corrupt. The first time I ever heard of her was a couple of years ago when she had like a racist Christmas party kind of thing, where she was like, everyone is invited to our government Christmas party except white people, no white people allowed. And everyone was like, how the fuck can you not invite white people? And she's like, well, you don't really count, so it's okay to do. You know, I'm just adhering to DEI policies, which are completely legal. She was that, yeah, she was that person. So Mr. Smash here, he tweeted out, Visa is now openly trying to position itself as the leader of gaming. They just announced a new role, Director, Global Gaming Partnerships, paying nearly $250,000 a year. The job is described as shaping culture, building global strategies with publishers, platforms, and creators, and driving innovation where gaming and commerce collide. Once again, I'm going to bring up enthusiast gaming. When I was going down the enthusiast gaming, like hostile takeover and them turning into DEI nonsense, we found two different companies that were like, what were they called? It was like a stone company and a wood company, because you know they always fucking are, aren't they? But they were like real estate companies, and one of them had been in like legal trouble for stock manipulation in Asia. And like the lawsuit that we read through with that was absolutely ridiculous. And I was like, why are people in trouble for like stock manipulation and fraud and who run real estate companies? Why are they buying gaming companies, botting the fuck out of them, claiming it's like the #1 used gaming platform on the web, and then just instituting DEI nonsense and in like bringing in influencers to push their nonsense? Like what are they gaining? Smash continues, but while, yeah, gaming has always been about culture and a sense of community, it's never involved corporate payment processors dictating the direction of the space. A credit card company has nothing to do with the heart of gaming, and yet here we have Visa injecting itself into the conversation as if it belongs there. Visa and MasterCard are working together to create all of these issues. MasterCard is on the board of directors of Bridge. I am not surprised in any way, shape, or form. This isn't about uplifting gamers, it's injecting corporate interests, pushing propaganda, and quietly shifting control of the gaming ecosystem into the hands of companies that profit from every single transaction. Follow the dollar. Ask yourself, what does a credit card company have to do with gaming? It has nothing to do with gaming, but you know what it has to do with? It has to do with Bridge. And you know what Bridge has to do with? Communism. And you know what they want to do? They want to transform culture. They want you to do the work. And they know that gaming is a massive area of entertainment they can use to build the modern audience. The modern audience does not exist, chat, but the Marxists are trying to build it. And that is what we are pushing back against, to make sure the modern audience in the Marxist vision never comes to fruition. And yet here they are, paying huge salaries to plant themselves at the center of gaming's future. This should worry everyone who cares about the future of gaming. I'm gonna rewrite that and say this should worry everyone who cares about the future, full stop. Because they have already conquered comic books, they've already conquered Hollywood and the movie and TV industry. They're trying to encroach into Japan to fucking kill our anime and manga, right? So it makes perfect sense that they have struggled to break into gaming, and now they're using the payment processors to be like, all right, it's time. We tried to do this the easy way, but now is the time to force behaviors. If you remember Mr. Fink's words. Alfie Brody here, VP Global Sponsorships at Visa. Gaming is no longer just play, it's culture. Hey! You can't say what I just said so early in your villain monologue. It's culture, community, and commerce. Gen Z and Gen Alpha spend more time gaming than on any other media. At Visa, our mission is to uplift everyone, everywhere, by being the best way to pay and be paid. Now we're bringing that purpose into the gaming ecosystem. As Director, Global Gaming Partnerships, you'll lead the charge in building transformative collaborations with publishers, platforms, leagues, and creators. Reimagining how payments power the future of play. This role is more than partnerships. It's about building global strategies that unlock new opportunities for players and partners alike. Driving innovation where gaming and commerce collide. And third, championing economic empowerment in one of the fastest growing cultural movements on the planet. If you're passionate about gaming, inspired by culture, and ready to make an impact on a global stage, we want you on our team. Yeah, it sounds like a whole bunch of commie gobbledygook to me. And wow, wouldn't you know it? This is a tweet that I made from March 29th, 2024. When BX on X talked on Side Scrollers podcast about influencers, streamers, and podcasters being paid off to push certain ideas or ideologies, it reminded me of this weird tournament I found while looking into bridge-related things in January. This post only has 600 likes. Who's involved with bridge? It's spearheaded by Condé Nast, Campbell Soup for some fucking reason, and also motherfucking, what's the last one? Sephora. Like it's a really weird group of three who are spearheading it, right? But there are so many companies involved, like it is insane. And let me go to my post that I made the other day. This might be a little bit too tinfoil, but we're already super fucking deep, chat. We're already super fucking deep. Pile on that tinfoil, baby. So there's this tweet here. NFL Tuesday Night Gaming. So hashtag ad. Do you want to compete with the Symphony against Cypher PK in LA on the NFL TNG stage? Submit your scores at chunky.gg by Friday, January 12th. No purchase required. 50 US, DC 18 plus only, open, blah, 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 blah. This is an initiative between the NFL advertising, which is done by fucking, oh god, I can't remember their name. It's in the screenshot. And Campbell's, which we already found out from my deep dive that Campbell's is heavily entrenched in pushing the new bridge DEI. Oh no. I have absolutely no clue. Literally no idea. But I was like, who are these streamers, right? Who are these streamers? Like I look at this guy. And I was like, wow, he's got almost 1 million followers. That's kind of fucking crazy. It's like you go to his Twitch channel. You go to his Twitch channel, and on Twitch he has 4 million followers. That's kind of fucking crazy. That's huge.
100%
this is a
free
huge
with
streamer. And I was like, okay, wow, that guy is massive. That guy is massive. Who's the other guy? Cypher PK. We're gonna open that up in a tab. This guy has 1.8 million followers. 1.8 million. And then on YouTube over here. On YouTube, he's got 8.43 million subscribers. These are massive influencers, right? Like they are huge influencers. And so I'm like, okay, that's a little weird. That there are 2 massive influencers who are specifically tagged in this event on January 10th. And somehow this only has 37 likes, 8 retweets, and 4 fucking comments. And it had less than that before I retweeted it. So if they have such big numbers, why does this have almost no attention? And it's put together by Nielsen. That's the name of the NFL company that does, or not the NFL company, but the company that does advertising for the NFL. So Nielsen and Campbell's are both members of Bridge, who are pushing these diversity measures. I was like, man, that's weird. Why would the NFL and Campbell's Soup need to sponsor streamers? The only like massive brand I can think of that's like a sponsor for anything is Mountain Dew with OTK, but they're an organization, not a single streamer, right? They're a massive organization. Why is Campbell's Soup sponsoring streamers? That doesn't make any... Campbell's soup isn't even gamer fuel like fucking Doritos and Mountain Dew are.
Buy gamer soup! Doesn't make any sense. Kirsche for 10% off!
So I was like... Previously, you had late night talk show hosts, you had the media talking heads pushing what you should think. Now, streamers are an ecosystem of micro-celebrities in and of themselves. So it feels to me that these massive corporations trying to instill these ideals, and again, remember, as I said, they don't just want the companies to be living by these ideals, they want the companies to make the consumers also live by these ideals. And what better way to connect with the new generation of consumers than by using streamers to push your messaging, to buy your product so that their message gets out not just from the streamer, but from the company itself. Right? I could be too much tinfoil here, but why do these people with millions of subscribers and followers, hundreds of thousands and millions of views, have zero fucking marketing on this campaign? This is just like, whoops. This is just like when we found that video of Cheryl Dijah talking about all this shit. These are people from large companies talking to one another. People with massive influence and money. It had 38 fucking views. I just like... That's weird to me. That's weird. Conspiracy theories are just spoilers. Maybe Campbell's forgot to write in the contract that the streamers need to promote the event on their accounts. It's like, even if it's not written into a contract, if I'm partnering with someone to do something, I'm going to advertise it, because that's the best thing to do for both myself and the advertiser. Is it their only Twitter post about that event? I have not checked. Let's go look at NFL Tuesday Night Gaming. Thanks for watching. December 12th, 23, Season 2 Championship. Today we're highlighting Scott Lipscomb from Xavier University, selected for State Farm HBCU program. I don't know what that means. And then here's the tweet that I was just talking about. Here's the tweet that this was January 10th. Let's see if either of these guys posted something separately. Going live with Asgard's Wrath MetaQuest, Sanzaru Games, Quest partner Asgard's Wrath 2. Like, he doesn't have anything about the NFL stuff here. December 30th, the Call of Duty thing. So he doesn't have anything. He doesn't have anything about the NFL tweet. All right, nothing about the NFL. Who's the other guy? Cypher PK. I'm not gonna get trolled by their pinned tweet again. No trolling. So he replied to like Lego Fortnite. He replied to Lego Fortnite. Why not the NFL thing? Why not the NFL thing? Yeah, it doesn't look like he has anything about the NFL thing either. It's very weird. It's very weird. Called it. They probably realized NFL sunk a lot of cash into the event and wanted to hold down for extra cash to promote. They're not even hyping up the event. That's very strange. Yeah, it's very strange. It's very weird. That's very weird. Maybe the NFL TNG. That's them. That's them. We already looked at their timeline. I don't know. Oddly quiet. They just don't give a shit about it. I don't know, man. That as a streamer, that's weird to me. That's weird to me. That's probably good enough. Probably don't need to finish it out. I doubt there's anything else going on there. So it reminded me of this. I reminded this from ages ago. And then on the back of that, Ari Mayrov, my sports update covering the NFL for the 33rd team FB. The NFL has teamed up with Mr. Beast and other YouTubers to promote Friday night's Chiefs-Chargers game, which will stream exclusively on YouTube. This is what they came up with.
Breaking news today out of the NFL. Let's go live to the press conference.
So loud.
Today marks an historic first. The NFL is now under the ownership of one individual, Jimmy Donaldson, Mr. Beast.
He bought the NFL?
Thank you. Everybody, that is right. I officially own the NFL, and I think it's time for some changes. So, for my very first change,
right? Yeah.
we're going to be changing the rosters from 53 players to 54 and giving that new roster spot to a YouTuber.
Okay.
Come on, Jimmy, we can't.
Well, I already did. Jimmy, we got the Cowboys!
There's only one spot.
All right, boys. First one to pop the balloon makes it on the team.
100% stick, bro.
1. Oh! Yeah!
These are the best
Gender
athletes on
reveal party?
earth, Jimmy. This could get sketchy.
Yeah, no, we already signed sketch. We're good.
What?
Let's go tactics! Come on, baby! It's our year! Let's go!
Jimmy, we didn't talk about this.
Oh, I really need to answer this, but just signed Dude Perfect to the Cowboys. How's it going? I own the NFL now. What do you need?
Jimmy, just on the Vikings. Skol Vikings, let's win this game. Skol Vikings, honor your name.
All right, yeah, you've got the Vikings. Talk to you later. Put her on.
Yo, Jimmy, hey, I gotta...
You know how there was some people who were like losing their fucking minds over Gura singing at like a Dodgers baseball game? I feel like this is 100,000 times more cringe of a skit than a VTuber singing.
My hometown. Put me down for the Rams.
Rams, huh? Bold choice. Put him down.
Let's go! Hey, Mom, he said yes!
What do you got, Jimmy?
Jimmy, I got the Chiefs. Please, come on.
Let's do it. You're in.
Yo, Jimmy, I got the Jets.
I got the Broncos.
At least Gooba was, yeah, it was cute and wholesome. This is just kind of obnoxious.
Let's go!
In a shocking new development, YouTubers are now reporting to training camps.
We know this isn't just a game.
YouTubers should be reporting to some kind of camps, but I don't know if it's training camps.
Come on now. You know that guy should have caught that ball.
Sure, it will be hard. But I know these YouTubers have what it takes. We have speed.
Oh no! Oh no, I'm gonna get DMCA'd. They showed speed.
Let's go.
We have power.
I've always played football.
Who?
Not bad.
We have style. Kinda.
You look good.
Look good, feel good, play good. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, man.
Jimmy, you know, first I wasn't sold, but this idea is something I might be able to subscribe to.
Subscribe. Exactly.
Lord, I'm tired. I'm tired, Lord.
Ooh, all right. Well, for the first time ever, Chargers versus Chiefs will be live for free on YouTube. Make sure you watch it. It's literally free. Why not? September 5th.
Can I be rude for a second? I'm gonna mute this because I don't want to hear it again. But like the way his mouth moves in this commercial, it kind of freaks me out. Like, look, I don't know what it is, but I don't know, man. It's not as bad as that guy from the Linus Tech Tips video, that Asian guy, where it's like, he's not real, chat. That man wasn't real. It's globo homo, cringe and gay and tiresome. Did they have an AI modify the video? I don't know, man. I don't know. But I find it very interesting that we've already seen the NFL engaging in wanting to use influencers not just as a mere marketing tactic, but because influencers are a great way to do the work. So I found that pretty interesting. I didn't even remember that I had this Mr. Beast tab until we watched that old ass clip of mine.